And today we're going to look at the work we have done with Google AdWords. We're going to look at XPLE, and we're going to look at how we can optimize this such that we capture more leads. Because right now we're spending a ton of money and I feel like we're not getting quite where we want to be. So far I've booked in a single lead this week, and I would really like that to get up. And I think what we're doing wrong, I might be wrong about this, but I think what we're doing wrong is we're trying to schedule the call immediately. So we're going to build out a more gradual version of the funnel where people opt in for a guide first, and then once they've opted in for a guide, they should opt in for the next bits slowly. So first you get one guide, then you get 10 guides and sign up on the platform. Then after that, you book a call. And I think that would be the way to go around this. If the stream today is a bit annoying or not a high enough bitrate, I've had some problems with my internet provider, and they actually made me mad to the extent where I went and I got another provider. So I ordered a new internet provider yesterday to deliver my internet. That isn't there yet, and unfortunately I will have to just deal with whatever the internet connection is today. But yesterday I was in a phone call with a lead, and what happened was that while I was in this phone call, my whole internet just went down, and it was down for 5 hours. It was an absolute disaster. But hopefully that will be changed with the new setup that I'm getting. Oh, there's something wrong with my camera. It focuses on the wrong thing. How come? Interesting. It appears that the streaming gods are not really with me today, but you know, we're just going to carry on. Worst case, I have a recording and we will make that into a video later on. Okay, so where are we? Let's go back to our screen. We have just added the live stream. Oh, by the way, did you notice that we got the things that we got up running yesterday we built out yesterday with the starting soon and the countdown? That's all running now. And yeah, that worked out pretty nicely. So the next thing we need to do is, it keeps on doing that focus thing. That's pretty annoying and pretty new. I wonder why it's done that. Interesting. Okay. So it seems like it wants to focus on my training equipment. Let me just have a moment to see if I can adjust the camera. Okay, let's see if that helped. Yeah, I think that helped. Okay, let's check it out and see if that helped. If not, we will get back to that. But anyway, so yesterday we got Codex to make this top layer for us, and we got it to make the countdown. That's all now part of starting up the stream, which is super cool. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to check out how far along we are with the funnel. Sorry, not with the funnel, with the thumbnail generator. And so you see here, it has we've reached a place where we need to approve some gate. I wonder, let's just do this and then go here. How do I test the work that was done up until this point? Okay, let's see what it says. Because I actually haven't really tested much of this, but we wanted to create a Probably need a terminal for that. See what it says. Okay, and it seems that the stream quality is back on track. Cool. In the meantime, our fast codes implementation is still just running in the background. It's been running now for days, and I actually haven't interfered. And so either this is going to be a miracle or it's going to be a complete disaster. Who knows? It will be interesting to see just how much I will need to do. And it claims it's only been running for 1 day and 21 hours. I do think it has been running longer. There's just been some interruptions, so I think this is how long it's been running since the last interruption. All right, let's see. What does it say here? We'll just give that a bit of time to complete. Okay, and we have some instructions here we can now try to follow. Let's see. Tests from existing work trees. We don't want to run the tests. What we really want to do is end-to-end test. Let's try this. This looks interesting. That's an awful lot of data. Okay, let's just see what happens if we run this thing. Open. Okay, this is not exactly what we were going for. Let me show you here. This is very similar to what we saw yesterday. So I think let's get back to it and say we want something where we actually try to run a real thing. I mean, this is not bad. It does have a kind of a outline, but it's not exactly what we want. And that we need to fix. Let's try out. Let's go back and say we want to run this with a real image. Let's see. We're just going to do while it thinks about that. Let's see if that made things better or worse. Nope, that does the same thing again. Okay. Okay, so it's come back to us with some real instructions here that we are going to try to follow. Let's see what happens. Right. What does it say here? Okay. Holy crap, this is a lot of instructions. Okay. Does it not just have something simple? Okay, this seems to be... This is very complicated. Reviewed by retention policy. Oh my goodness. A whole bunch of things I need to... Okay. Let's do something else here, because this is far too complicated. Let's do this. We are just... Oh wait, I can't make a screenshot of myself. I need to do this. Let's just... The other day we made some photo booth pictures. We're just going to pick one of those ones. And then... drag that right in here. And then ask it, could you make an SH script example using the attached image? Okay. And I only want to run a single command. It should be super easy to test and view. Let's see how well it does this, and then take it from there. Okay, so I think while it's doing this, let's have a look at some of the things we need to reshuffle today. And let's just go to, I need to have a browser down. That's not a browser. I need the browser, which we have right here. Okay, so here's what we want to do. We want to take this. So let me just see if I can move that there, right? So we have this lead page where you can sign up as a user, and we want to move that onto Compound Coders. So instead of start.trolls.im, it should say start.compoundcoders.im. And there you can get your first free guide. And then I think we need to update the copy here. So let's start by doing that, maybe. We can do that simultaneously with the other things we're doing, because it will take a bit of time for this one to come back with something actual useful. So let's see. Could you update to use language similar to our VP of Engineering CTO persona. Right, and so the key people we're targeting are CTOs, VP of Engineering, so people who have large teams, and we want to capture their language. So we've had a couple of lead interviews where the main goal was to understand what are the pain points, what are they actually doing, and how do they feel about AI? And then we're going to use that language to inform how we are writing the copy for these websites. And I've created a whole lead page system such that when I'm having these updates, I can trivially go and ask the agent to go and update it rather than having to do it myself. And so I think this is super useful. It becomes a little bit of a gradient descent method. You get some data, you update, you do the next iteration, and so on and so forth. I think this is the way to go. There's no such thing as a fast way to do it. And actually gradient descent, in particular in a Monte Carlo simulation, is super efficient. So hopefully it will be super efficient for our business as well. And then once we have that done, we want to replicate, or probably replicate this page onto compoundcoders.com. Then get people to sign in. So we need to update our email sequence. When we talk when our AI system talk to prospects, we want it such that it just gets them to sign up on this thing immediately. And we don't actually want to do anything else. We just want them to be captured there. Because the thing with asking them to book a call right away, that only works if it's a super urgent and really hard problem that they're having. And we have had one of those where basically the call was booked within minutes of the second email. So they do exist, and that's really encouraging. Now, what we do want is we want to capture them on a more permanent basis where they get into our system with their email address and everything. And so, yeah, first thing, preview is clean. And the sign up form still renders. Main shift. Oh, and so it does here. Your engineers are already using AI. Which practices should become standard? Yeah, why not? Why not? Let's just have a look. Most engineers already have their own agents, prompts, and skills. That creates local speed, but it does not tell you what works, what survives, a model change, and what the whole team should adopt. Put your AI in a loop. Gives you a bounded practice to test, a checklist, a real pass, fail, and a capped repair loop. Run it on a representative task, inspect the difference, and decide from evidence. Okay, that actually sounds pretty solid. Let's see, turn private data into a practice that your team can inspect. Okay, Yeah, this is great. If we want to have something else here, maybe that seems a bit shallow, doesn't it? I think we could probably improve there. I think that's sold way better on the Compound Coders website, but yeah. Cool. Send me the Measure AI pilot. Is that really true though? Let's just ask it about that, because I don't believe we have a guide like this. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. Who knows? I mean, there are 88 guides, and I don't remember all of them, but I don't recall that I ever made a guide like that. Is this really the guide that we're sending to them? I mean, one possibility could be that we just update the guide to reflect what we actually, so something that actually addresses what they want. So the key idea here is the first touch point should be give them what they want, and then after that we give them what they need. We need to get them in the door so we can actually talk to them about what they truly need. Okay. Okay. Do we have any guides that does something like measuring what the AI does? My goodness, this transcription is so slow. We need to improve that. Let's try to focus on something more entry level. So if you look at the persona, I think that there are two different kinds of personas within the same persona, or at least in the evidence of that one persona. Could you look at the ones that are slightly more entry level and see what their core pain point is, and try to work out what is the best guide we could have to get them started? Okay, that's actually interesting. Yeah, so we do have a guide on A/B testing prompts. We have a bunch of other ones. U-curve retries. This is about the reliability. I'm a bit split here. I think we should go for the entry level. So entry level is really where we can provide the most value, and probably we will still capture the high level, and if not, we will have a secondary entry point for those who want more than just this basic guide. Okay, so we got some analysis here of the personas that we're working with. And let's see. So from our notes, we can see that early, blah, 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 early interruption, decide whether it's safe to begin an economic, advanced, standardize, evaluate, improve, and entry level describes AI maturity, not their seniority. Okay. Best guide. We could offer them business case before coding. Choose your AI workflow first. Promise in 30 minutes identify one AI workflow worth testing, estimate its cost and risk, and produce a one-page. That's actually a pretty strong guide for somebody on a VP/CTO level, right? So I think that is basically the question that you want to know. Is it worthwhile implementing this AI workflow or not? And again, if we could take this in the direction of measurability, cool. So first of all, I think in all of our correspondence here, please leave out any names of any real personas. We don't want that. And then let's see. Is there any way that we could merge the direction you're suggesting with some direction of measurability, right? It's kind of encapsulated into it because you're working out the business case before coding and choosing your first AI workflow. But I think that there is some measurability as well. So could we do anything like that? Please do some deep research on this before getting back to me. Okay, so with this, I think we're in a good starting position. Let's see how it's going with our thumbnail. Our thumbnail is still doing something. What is it doing? Not really a lot, it would appear. I need to work a bit on how it estimates the percentage here, right? So we went back from 5 to 4%. This actually looks like we are moving backwards. That's funny. All right. Okay, so here's what we're going to build out, right? So we have up here, we have XPLE and Google Ads. Oh, bloody hell, I can't spell ads. And with that, wait, what? Okay. So apparently these are two separate things. And with that, we are going to build out a funnel that looks like this. So that will drive them to the free guides page. And this will start a email sequence where the first email will give them 10 more free guides. And it will also have a call to action. For those who are ready, there will be a call to action with call.trolls.im, right? And so you get this free first guide. Then once you have that one, you can choose, I want to work with this guy, or I'm happy to just be on the mailing list. And the next thing that happens is you get 10 more guides, but with a paid option, right? So let's just do that, because we want to visualize what all of this looks like. $85 premium guides. And so this over here we're going to make blue, if I can figure out how to do that. Yeah, there we go. And so this will be 247. Now with that, you might want to go one step deeper, right? So the 85 guides are definitely going to add a lot of value to you, and you'll be able to do a whole bunch of things that you wouldn't be able to do before. But we will have one step deeper where oh, why does this not copy? Ah, there we go. Might just have copied many times. Yeah, it has. Oh my goodness. Okay, and that was the one we actually want to keep. I think I need some more skill in using this program. Let's see. Okay, there we go. So this will basically be a guide. And then this is going to be self-paced. Wow, do we also have a bunch of things on top of each other here? Okay. Self-paced training. And that one is 997. Okay. So and keep in mind that each one of these ones then also have a go here. Right, so this is the CTA that's coming. Oh. And then this leads to a bootcamp. Bootcamp, which will go for 5, 4, 7, 9, 997 slash 1497 slash 2997, something like that, right? And depending on your pricing point, it will be one or the other. So this is pretty much what we are building out here. And I think this is a good system. So these are our low ladder, low ticket offers, and these are our slightly higher ticket offer. And so this one over here, let's just work that out. So this is going to be either start.trolls.im/start.compoundcoders.com. And then this one, these two offerings down here, that's going to be compound guides.compoundcoders.com. And finally, down here, we just have compoundcoders.com. So actually compoundcoders.com is not going to be our main entry at any point. It's going to be a few levels into our funnel. And then I think let's spend $100 a day to get people in. I think this is what we're doing. And I think the key thing here is to try something new. Okay, let's see. What did it come up with here? Understood. Okay, business case before coding. Choose and measure your first AI workflow. Choose a measurable AI workflow. Choose a worthwhile low-risk AI that defines success before building. Run a small test that produces a defensible go, change, or stop decision. The important shift is this. The basic case is the hypothesis. The pilot is the measurement method. That makes measurable honest. The guide would actually teach the reader to measure what to measure, establish the baseline, and produce evidence. What research says? Several consistent principles emerge from official frameworks and empirical studies. Start with a measurable business or user outcome. Then work your way backwards, get the technology. I actually like this. This could subsequently be a way to test if our workflow, if our AI workflow is successful or not. It's more of a binary decision than what I really wanted. What I really wanted would be something like, hey, this is 95% good and this is 20% good. But I think a binary decision is maybe easier to work with. Okay. Okay, so here is what we are going to do. We're going to write this guide, and then I think tomorrow we're going to test this guide. But we're writing it now. In the meantime, I think while we wait for that, this one is finished now, so we can try this. Why does it say? Yeah, let's do this. Just see. Wait. Got 0%. What is the argument here? Okay. This is a failure codex. I probably could. Other guides. Okay, cool. So while it's at doing that, let's see what we're doing next. Right. We have another workflow we started the other day, which was creating social media content. And if you recall, what we actually did was we asked it to create carousels. And so you have the poster here, and then you have the actual carousel here running with some music, I believe. Let's just see if that's true or not true. I'm going to pause the music over here, and let's turn this one up. How cool was that, right? So we basically got Codex to make us 7 cards. And now the next thing we're going to do is, could you schedule these for schedule these on social media? The first one should go out today, and then subsequently each one the next day. Oh, and then subsequently one for each of the next weekdays. So the real cool stuff here is that we took the course material and the training material that we have and that we have generated, then we just turned that into social media content without having to do much, right? And it's explaining the entire curriculum, what's a reliable prompt, right? It's basically, you can see here, it's taken a thing from each of the things, saying, okay, reliable prompt engineering, content, attention budget, repository as a prompt, and I'm inclined to get it to do 360 of these and then just schedule them, because it feels like, well, maybe not 360, but maybe we could do like 60. I think that would be really useful. What? Is this one not available? It certainly should be. Let me just check that somewhere where I don't leak the key. It would appear that Codex is right. Let me fix that. Okay, so let's see if it will do it now. In the meantime, let's see what it is doing here. Nice, we're building out the guide and it's doing a really okay job on this. Measure today, compare fairly, go, change. The only thing I really could wish for here would be a more clickbaity title. Demo first, evidence first. Okay, let's see. Okay, so that's coming along nicely. Our thumbnail generator. I wonder why it failed here, because it should have been really straightforward. I think I was pretty clear on what I wanted, but maybe I wasn't. And let's see here. Okay, so it is now compacting and then trying again. Okay, let's just give this a bit of time to run and we'll see where we are in just a bit. Okay, and we should be ready to test now. Before importing the product, confirm all of these statement. Yes. Send your private product for exactly 1 generation maximum. Wow, $1. That seems a bit steep, but okay, let's just try this. The actual provider charge is controlled by founder. Yeah, okay. Oh my goodness. It did not even test anything or what? Is the problem here that we don't have a foul key? I think it might be. No, there is a foul key in this all of this. So we will need to send this back and say, hey, you didn't do your job. Okay, and we should have a version now here. Let's see. Okay, so this is the guide we have made. Choose and measure your first AI workflow. Build the business case before the system. One workflow, one baseline, and a go, change, stop decision. Business case before the system. I feel like this might be missing the point, or let's see what it actually says. So one workflow, one baseline. So pick one outcome, bounded, repeatable, reviewable. Measure today, quality, time, cost, known failures, same kind of cases, go, change, stop. Yeah, I think the graphics is kind of okay. These terms are used. Outcome unit. A useful thing a workflow finishes, one resolved ticket, reviewed contract, accepted digits, or count outcomes, not model responses. That makes sense. How the current workflow performs before AI. Elapsed time, human effort, acceptance rate, cost, and known failures. That's a pretty solid baseline as well. Quality flaw. The minimum acceptable quality. If AI-assisted workflow falls below its speed and saving costs, do not rescue the trial. A boundary, the workflow boundary. the workflow may not cross. For example, now restricted. Okay, this actually seems pretty useful as well. Okay, there are a lot of good stuff in this guide. At least the terms it defines are really good. The question is, can we use this for anything? So, I mean, one very clear thing we could try to benchmark with this is the ability to write guides. I feel like that would pass this quite easily. The human efforts to write something like this, let alone do the research for it, is just way up here. And we've done this in 5-10 minutes, maybe half an hour. I don't know. We've been running this together with other things, so there might be some benefit. Measure the workflow, not the demo. Okay, so include human review, rework, rejected outputs, failure recovery, cost, and permission boundaries. A model can score well while surrounding services wastes time or creates risks. A useful question. Oh no, here's some AI slop. I hate this formulation. Okay, let's just give this as feedback right away because I hate it when it does this. It's the kind of stuff that makes me not want to use AI for writing. Okay, and so we need to make this a policy when creating a new guide. Make sure that we have a review turn where we review for AI slop like this example when we create a new guide. And once you have created the policy, try to apply it to this specific guide so we can see if it works or not, because there is already some AI slop in here we should get rid of. You might want to research what forms AI slop take before you write the policy. Okay. In the meantime, we're just going to go through the rest of the guide just to see what else is in there. The shift. The first decision is not with... Right, and here we go again. It's exactly the same kind of slop that you so easily get in these guides or in any AI written content, right? The first decision is not which model to buy, it is which piece of work. And I completely lost my concentration there. I can't read this. Most seem reverse the order. Pick a tool, build a demo, and then only ask whether it saved time, preserved quality, or solved a real question, or solved a problem anyone cares about. Then the baseline is gone, and sunk cost is arguing for the project. Solves any problem anyone can. By then the baseline is gone, and the sunk cost is arguing for the project. Demo first. Choose a tool. Build something impressive. Search for evidence that it helped. Evidence first. Okay, so these are two different flows, I think. So, the business case is a hypothesis. If we can assist this workflow with AI, we expect the outcome to improve without crossing the quality, cost, or risk boundary. The trial exists to prove that sentence wrong or keep it alive. Okay, I think we can always prove it wrong. That we just need to find a single example for. I think we can never prove this right because we can't cover that entire space of possibilities. So it's a hypothesis, not something that can be proven. Okay, but it also says it's a hypothesis. So that's right. And okay, actually the sentence is right. So we keep it alive if we can. But yeah, but we kill it if we can. Okay, this makes sense to me. Let's see. Okay, next thing. Start with one workflow. Do not measure AI adoption. Do not begin with organization-wide productivity target. Pick one repeated workflow with visible beginning and end. A strong first candidate. Boring bounded work produces better evidence than ambitious customer-facing demo. That's probably true. Happens often enough to observe repeated as human process you can measure today produces an outcome a domain expert can accept or reject, stays internal while the team learns, is reversible when it fails, uses data you allowed to process, can be tested without changing the whole operational model. A weak candidate first. High consequence and fuzzy success makes a poor learning environment. Make consequential decisions about people, send, publishes, praise, deletes, or deploys without approval, depends on sensitive. Yeah, that makes sense too. Define the 4 numbers. Outcome, quality, economics, and risk. Looks kind of okay. Record the baseline. Okay, that's not too bad. It's actually pretty good for now. Run the smallest fair comparison. And I think this is a good thing as well, right? Often we try to make things so complex that it's really hard to quantify whether we are making any real improvements. But really what we should be focusing on is incremental improvements, right? And so with this workflow, you could take this and apply it several times and then incrementally improve while making sure that you are having the quality that you need to have. I think this is absolutely key. And it's actually the way that we should be working and thinking about these things. So the key idea is, right, so we have a workflow now that could improve a tiny fraction of our work. And so by example, we could apply this particular framework to writing a guide on how to use AI for something. And in our case, it's very clear that the baseline is pretty expensive and costly to make. So it's a lot of human effort. If I were to write a guide like this, it probably would have taken me 5 to 10 hours. I would need to research. I would need to do a bunch of different things. Whereas now I only have, and we have updated this one. So maybe we got rid of all the slop now. The useful... No, we haven't gotten rid of the slop, so... But we did make a new model. Or a new version of it. Stage guide, okay. Cool. I do think this is rather useful though. Right. So where were we? Right. So if you can come with these 4 outcomes and you can measure on all 4 of them, what is the useful thing we should improve? In our case, for just writing a guide, well, the outcome is writing the guide. The quality must be human level. Like, we don't want this to read like AI slop, and it should be useful enough that it actually provides real value to your user and make it such that they can follow the guide and learn something from it, right? The economics is very, very simple in this. It costs, hiring somebody like me will cost you $150 an hour, roughly, if I'm being cheap. That means that if I have to spend 5 hours on writing an article like this, the cost is $750, and so it really just needs to be below this. Now the risk here is that if we are not being very careful about how these guides are generated, we'll end up with some AI slop that doesn't help anybody and basically destroys our brand. We don't want that to happen, so it's very important that we review the things, and this means maybe we have half an hour of human review versus the before mentioned 5 hours of writing plus review, and count the work required to do something to get something acceptable. So the cost per accepted outcome: preparation plus model cost plus review plus rework plus recovery divided by accepted outcomes. Okay, so I think it needs to explain this a bit more. The baseline. Okay, we will wait for this one to finish. So right now it's working on one thing, and then after that we've given it another task, and then we will review it again. Let's get back to our carousels. So it claims now it has... what about the remaining 6? Okay, let's just check that it did what it said it would do. Let's jump over here and then just jump onto X and see if I have published something. Hey, there you go. So we didn't do much for this one. We already got the first interaction. And oh no, we have slop in the thing. I think I want to have a repository-wide check that there is no bloody AI slop in any of the copy or text made, because this is just so revealing. Okay, cool. Oh, funny. So just as we talk about AI writing, let's just check out what this post is saying. Oh my goodness, I forgot to put on the microphone. Let's redo this. I am so sorry. Oh, crap. Okay, so where were we? Yes, right. So, first of all, let's go back to where we were. So we were here, and we saw that it came out, but we also saw that there's AI slop in this stuff, which really, really makes me sad, because I really do not like when there's AI slop in my posts. But then we went back here, and what happened was we saw that Arvid had just put out a post or reposted somebody's post on people who have completely automated their jobs, right? And so what it says is there are people out there who have completely automated their jobs with AI, and they have not been posting about it because that would be the stupidest thing to do right now. I disagree with this. I don't think it's stupid to post about that you are completely automating your job. In fact, I do think that there is a huge potential in posting about it, because you want to be the one who's on the forefront of this. You do want to be the one who can explain how do you do these things. And the question though is, who owns the automation? Is it the people that you're working for, or is it you? Right, so that's the real question here. As long as you own the automation, well, everything is pretty fine. If it comes out that you've automated your job and your employer owns your automation, then I kind of agree with this. It would be very stupid to talk about. But this is why you should make sure to land B2B service contracts rather than actual employment. And let's see, what does he write here? Same for people who have automated content creation in a world where people think they can still detect AI writing. Well, we can definitely still detect AI writing if there's been no measures to ensure that there's no slop, right? And so would it be stupid to go out public and say that you are generating content with AI? Well, I mean, I just did that, so I think it's not. I think what really would be stupid would be to go out and say that AI is going to solve all your problems around this, because it still needs to be work involved in it. You still need to review the bloody thing. If you don't review, then it would be very stupid of you to go out and post anything. But I do think you should be honest about it. We should be talking about AI, how it's changing our world, and how we are going to use it in particular, if you're in business, well, even if you're just a regular software developer, you need to be able to talk about this publicly. You need to be able to talk about it within your company. And at this point, I'm at the point where I do not want to talk to somebody or work with somebody if they are not AI first, if they're not open to having the conversation about how do we use AI tools to do these things better, more efficiently, and all of that, then that would make me very reluctant to work with people. Because I think we need to be honest about the conversation. I don't like the idea of going behind somebody's back and not talk about it. Oh, bloody hell. I thought I told you to publish these things. So hopefully I've also convinced you that the cards you can create and the kind of content you can create can be of pretty high quality. So the things that the carousel that we just published. So let's just jump back to that one. The carousel we just published, that is something that I can get 100% behind because it's actually created as a derivative of my own content. So it's created as a derivative of one of the teaching points that I'm having in the course that I am doing. And so really what it does is it tells you about how should you think about these errors. And I think it's a very, very important point that so many engineers are missing and so many managers are missing, in particular because they all think that now you have this thing that takes you 90% of the way in 20 minutes and now we're done with software engineering. We don't need software engineers anymore. Nothing could be further from the truth because, first of all, if you don't take care of dealing with these errors that are coming in, you will have a problem for sure. And the second thing is, if you really want to get great at getting the performance you want, you need to engineer your way around how to build out the whole workflow. And so this is the new engineering role. It's how do you engineer the environment in which your AI is living in such a way that you produce the optimal results, right? And compounding errors is the number one thing that you need to figure out how to deal with. And I actually had a call today, which was a super interesting call. And one of the key points I was making in this call is that on one hand, you don't do any checks at all. You end up with garbage because it's just running too fast. On the other hand, you're checking everything and you're only settling for perfection. You never finish. This has been true for regular software engineering. It is true for AI engineering. And you need to find the middle ground of how much are you correcting for the errors as you go along. And in AI engineering, it just becomes so much more important because it goes so much faster. So the errors compound a lot faster. Okay, I am very surprised that we are no further with this. I thought this would have been pretty straightforward to fix, but clearly it's not. Or maybe our repository standards are just too high and it does too many checks. I can see here it is running some things here. What is this? Okay, so this is just a test. Let's just try to run this while it's actually working on things and see if it... Okay, so it's competing with another build that's running. Okay, it will start in just a bit. Let's put on some music and chill. Okay, so have a look at this. This is so beautiful. What it actually has ended up doing is deploying a red team, blue team strategy for detecting AI slop. I absolutely love this. I didn't ask it to do this. All I said is that I don't want any more slop. And so basically what it does is it deploys this prompt where it says, okay, could you identify the AI slop? And so here we go, right? It identifies, okay, this is slop, this is slop, this is slop, and so on and so forth. And so this is the red team, and the red team is just meant to be completely aggressive about detecting these things. And then the next thing it does is it tries to defend why it's not slop. And to yeah. And so let's see, how can I see what it actually did here? Why can't I see that? Okay, this is somewhat confusing how this interface works. Blue team review. Anyway, so once the red team has done its work, the blue team has done its work, the evidence is passed to a judge who will then say, well, who is right and who is wrong in this? And so it then comes out with a list of things that should be corrected, right? And 2 consecutive do not create a mildly mechanical cadence. Combine them into one and one positive selection rule. So I really like this. I'm actually really thrilled. And so you see here, the judge actually also rejects some of the attacks. So assistance, not autonomy, states a precise safety boundary and is explicitly protected by the policy's legitimate negation exception. This is such a powerful technique for making sure that your work is living up to the requirements that you want it to live up to. So I'm actually getting increasingly keen on seeing the next version of this PDF. probably we should instate something similar for our social media posts. So let's do that in just a bit. Probably there will not be time for that during this live session, but then we could do it tomorrow, or I will have it done in the meantime. If I don't run out of tokens, because we are getting very, very close to the end of everything. And we are now having things scheduled for the next 6-7 days. Let's see. I just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So it's done 7 days now. And let's have a look at what a day looks like. So we're posting on Facebook, we're posting on TikTok, we're posting on Blue Sky, we're posting on Instagram. Wait, or isn't? No, Instagram was not there. Oh, plus two more. Let's just see what happens if we click one of these. Can we see where we're actually posting? Oh, I wish this thing had a dark mode. And also, okay, so we can see here it's posting on all of them except LinkedIn. LinkedIn is using a regular carousel format, but all the other ones, it has instructions to post these ones. So we're posting across 7 platforms. We have now scheduled posts for a full week, and all based on our curriculum, so that's great. Getting back here, we are at the point where we should be able to test the YouTube thumbnail generator. Yes. Govern. Run. Up to 10 minutes. I think not, but let's see. My goodness, this still doesn't work. Okay, so, and the carousel is also done now. So it's posted everything. We saw that. And the media complies with the okay, so it seems that it ran into some rate limiting issues, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, let's just you create a MR and merge this branch into develop. And then this work is pretty much done, so we just need to get the records into the repository, and we have our full flow covered. And we can reuse this next time. So I'm pretty pleased with this, because this will make it very easy to make sure that we have a first set of content. And now, the next thing we're going to do is we will use Opus.Pro to make sure that we are full on with content as well, video content. And probably that should be scheduled through Postbridge as well, although Opus does allow you to schedule directly through their platform. But I think Postbridge has a better coverage for platforms. All right, so all of this is taking slightly longer than we'd hoped for, but we're at the final gate here for fastcoach.io, so we probably will not be able to see this today, but tomorrow we should be able to walk through what it has done. So it's quite a lot of tests it's done. 541 repository tests have now passed. Only changed files, so let's see. Is there anywhere we can see toggle summary? Yeah, plus 240. This PR is a bit small for my standard, but I mean, if I had written it myself, it would probably be like 500,000 lines. But you know, I will settle for 300,000, close to 300,000 lines of changes. It's just insane. This has been running for maybe 4 days, and we have let the AI review itself, so this could go any direction, right? This could be a complete disaster, or it could be the disaster we always wanted. Probably, hopefully it will be the disaster we always wanted. I think we've been very thorough in the planning of everything, but let's see. I'm so curious what this actually looks like when we spin it up. So hopefully that's what we will be doing tomorrow. And should we review this line by line? I don't think so. Hopefully the repository policies have done what they're supposed to do, made sure that we stick to how things should be done, made sure that we are never having large files, making sure that we're committing every 500 lines and so on. So I wonder, let's just try to do this. Okay. Using JIT, how do I get the number of commits that was made when compared to develop branch? Let's just try to do this. I'm really, really curious. I'm really curious how many commits we have done here. Oh, only 79. So it seems that it's not quite sticking to the policy that we're doing, right? So it seems like every commit is some 3,000 lines instead of... That's a bit disappointing. It should... The only remaining is the aggregate change line. Okay. Yeah, so we have actually deliberately set the test coverage to quite low, mostly because we started out with no test coverage and we have had to build our way up. But I would have wanted that to be 80 or something like that. I'm starting to feel slightly nervous whether this has been a wasted effort, because it's cost me a lot of tokens. In the meantime, let's see how the YouTube thumbnail generator is working out for us. We're hopefully getting to a point where my life is going to be super simple and I don't have to deal with this rubbish anymore. Well, I never dealt with it in the first place, so probably the right phrasing would be getting to a point where the AI is doing this for me. We want such that we can pull in a random video and get a thumbnail for it, and then we want to be able to create a thumbnail for things that are coming up. Oh, bloody hell. And this is still... Like, why didn't it test this? I'm feeling... You'd think that this would be obvious to the AI, and really, we do have some policies on that. It should make sure that everything compiles and runs, but obviously we haven't. Well, we should even have had user flows for this that it should have tested. So there's definitely room for retrospective there on how to improve the repository policies. Okay. Let's just check. Okay, this is promising, yes, on the end-to-end testing, but not yet literally human click-through against production. I ran complete creator lifecycle twice, trolls and a second creator, both passed 24 checks, onboarding, YouTube connection, background training. Right, I feel like getting my hopes really high here because this seems super promising. On the other hand, I have seen enough promises from AI about what it has done and what it hasn't done to feel really, really skeptical about this. So we'll see tomorrow. I think there is a fair chance that we'll be thoroughly disappointed, but let's see. Okay, getting back to our guide here. Let's just refresh for the latest. Did we get rid of the slop or did we add more of it? Let's see. So, AI can score why... I don't even recall where did we have the initial slop. Ask whether the workflow creates a better accepted outcome. Review and blah blah blah. That seems free of slop. So it was at the end of something. Any risk? So it definitely has. It's done something, and it does seem that we're free of this AI slop now. Well done AI for basically getting rid of its own worked example. Oh, nice. This is new, isn't it? I don't think this was there in the first one. Our team produces an internal customer feedback digest every week. The process is repetitive, reviewable, reversible, and stays inside an approved workspace. The following numbers are illustrative. 12 recent digits. Median. Okay. Operate no model bill. Human effort is the dominant cost. Known failure. Weak digest drops the important theme or overtakes a single customer comment. Okay. Okay. 12 historical cases do not prove this organization. They support only the decisions. Okay. Okay, this actually looks pretty good. So once we're done with the live stream here, I will be reviewing this in detail and then we'll take it from there, see where we are going. But I think this is good. Let's just go ahead with that for now. And that's pretty much it, I think. Oh, we are already over time. So that is pretty much the end of today's live stream. So what have we done today? We have been setting up our free guide funnel entry point. We have created the guide. We have not tested our YouTube thumbnail generator yet, but hopefully we can do that tomorrow. We have not tested our SaaS yet, but hopefully we can do that tomorrow. We have scheduled 7 posts. We've created and scheduled 7 posts. And we've updated the web page. We're going to do more on the funnel tomorrow, and hopefully I'm so excited about the SaaS and terrified at the same time. Either it's going to be great or it's going to be devastating. Who knows? But I'm having a slightly optimistic that we will get this to work really well. So I hope you enjoyed today's live stream, and if there's anything you'd like me to cover in some of the upcoming live streams, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear more about what interests you, what you think we should be working on in the AI space, both for running a business and for coding. So until next time, take care.